One thing I always go back to is when I'm 7 years old and my parents divorce and I'm in San Diego, and that's this kind of traumatic event that I always come back to in my experiences. But I mean, the more I listen to you and your work, Joe, I always think that maybe that's not true, because like you said, 50% of our memories aren't necessarily true.
Yeah.
And I also keep focusing on this event, and I think it's time maybe I need to tell myself a new story.
Now you're talking.
What do you think?
And I think it's really healthy, because we tell ourselves stories based on our level of consciousness in that moment. Yeah, I'm sure it was traumatic for you. I'm sure it was really uncomfortable. I'm sure you experienced a lot of separation and a lot of duality. And yeah, that's really true. However, the question is, when you get to certain problems and conditions in your life that trigger the same emotion, do you return back to that 7-year-old child that's unconsciously trying to figure out the world, or feeling isolated or alone or whatever? So then, is it the event that's important? No. If you understood the emotion that you felt when you were 7 years old, and you worked on getting beyond that emotion, once you got beyond it, you would see that experience from a greater level of consciousness. And you would see that it was the best possible outcome for you, the best possible outcome for your parents, and you would see it instead of from a place of hurt or suffering, you would see it from a place of understanding, a place of compassion. That's kind of the work. So when we tell ourselves that story of the past, we keep reaffirming our inability to change. I want people to tell a story of their future, and I want them to believe in that future more than they believe in their past. I want them to romance their future more than they romance their past. I want them to make their future more real than their past. And if you keep doing that, that becomes reality. So yeah, it takes a lot of work. Yeah, and you know what? People in our work, they watch their mind movies before they go to sleep. Why? Because that's the best thing they should be putting in their brain before they go to bed. Yeah, they sit up before they lay down, and they work on restoring their body for 15 or 20 minutes because it's their temple, it's their servant. They want to acknowledge it, they want to love it so that it restores and regenerates. Yeah, they wake up in the morning and they do the work instead of getting their coffee and their shower and their newspaper or their cell phone. They understand that all of those things they're going to get to. But a little bit of time to invest in yourself is investing in your future. And I think that if you believe in yourself, you believe in possibilities. And when you believe in possibilities, you got to believe in yourself. So people are now all of a sudden becoming more resourceful. They're standing up for themselves. They're doing the work, whether they're 92 years old or 90 years old. You know, you can't, a 90-something-year-old lady that in one of our last events, she made her own mind movie. Right? You can't tell me you're old and you can't do technology now. We have someone that was 92 that did it.
My movie is when you play something.
You make a movie of your future.
The future, right.
And what do you want to be in your future? Like a television commercial. You don't get so lost in it. Open your heart, put your heart into it. Stay in trance. Know how to execute that trance. And when you're in trance, you're more suggestible to information. And suggestibility is your ability to accept, believe, and surrender to information without analyzing it. And what separates the conscious mind from the subconscious mind is the analytical mind. So as you move into trance, you suppress your analytical facilities, you become more suggestible, you slow your brain waves down, and what's the significance of that? Well, if you're not analyzing, you're not going to say, how's that going to happen? What didn't happen last time? Where am I going to afford that? And you don't have the critic in your mind saying that. It's going right into the subconscious. And if you're doing it just before you go to sleep, your brain waves are already changing.